Hello, is it Chandra?
Hi, Bashir.
Hi,
Hi.
Chandra.
Hey, hey. Okay, please go ahead. I'll be on mute. Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
This
Chandra,
is Chandra.
this is
My name is Ahmed. Basically, I'm using somebody else's laptop, so
Got it. Yeah.
okay, I'll change the name here in Zoom meeting.
That's fine. Like if you're joining, then no issues.
Yeah.
Just give me your basic introduction. So we can start what your exact requirement. Yeah. Kumar has said me, but I just want to listen from your so that we can start our
Sure,
classes.
sure. Yeah, sure. Basically, Chandra, myself, I am in SAP data migration, and it's not like something. Before I was in functional side and having good amount of knowledge on SAP area in S4. Only thing is like I have been working in migration projects, but this migration projects requires a lot of other skills. In UK, basically the strategy is not like somebody who should be hands-on, but who then they basically look for the people who manage the complete data migration activity. So being a lead consultant, so I'm holding a position where I'm managing the guys with the BODS skills as well as informations as well as data hub, different detailed tools. So in this activity, my role will be to take the business requirement and like architect type role, design the complete process and then send it to the guys in offshore or the people who will be working here. So I'll be looking for that particular activity. So I'm acting like a data manager type. Second thing is like because I want myself to be well versed with these technologies. Although I got a good amount of information, but the only thing is like they are a little bit hands-on, which is lacking. So I know BODS. I have been in the BODS for a good time. So the only thing is I'm just lacking in information steward as well as in HANA DB. So that's the two things which I need to improve my skills. So that's what I'm looking for in information steward.
Yeah. Thanks for that introduction. Just give me a second. Let me share my screen.
Sure, Chandra. I will mute myself if it's required. I'll unmute it. Is that okay? Yeah.
Yeah, that should be fine. Just let me know if you see my screen.
Yes, I could see the screen. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Yeah, I can see. Yeah. Right.
okay, it has been full screen for you, right?
Yes, it is not exactly full screen, but I can see some slides in the down bottom of the screen, as well as right side also. I can see some one screen there.
Okay, let me. So now,
Yeah, I can see a full screen now.
cool. Okay. So, like, do you have any idea like on information steward? Like, shall we start? Because the basics are very pretty much important for us to go further in the classes. So that's the reason I'm just asking how much you are good with the information steward, like, or else like, shall we start with the scratch?
I believe just a small brush up on a brief description should work for me, Chandra.
Okay, right, cool. Sorry, I'm just getting a call. 1 second.
Sure.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Chandra.
Okay. So like before going into the deep information steward, right? There are a few points like normally we'll be discussing and information steward for data quality. Okay. The product overview and the architecture. Uh, and later we'll be discussing about the main components. You know the different tabs which are available, right? The data insight, metadata management, metapedia, cleansing package builder. So we will be going in detail about these things. So like by going into the next tabs, right, you will get more information on this one. Like this one is the architecture. This one I was saying, right, the data profiling validation rules. And this one I was talking data insight, metadata management. So these will be discussed in detail, like to get like more in what to say, more understanding for you.
Yeah, okay.
So normally, if you talk about information steward, the what do you say, the synonyms for this one is nothing but the data quality. The main purpose of information steward is like we will be using it for the data quality, right?
Yeah.
So like obviously when we start doing this type of things, they will ask us why information steward, why not other things, right? So we need to have some pros and cons with this one. So for us, we will be discussing only the pros. Cons we'll be discussing a little bit less because we need a more on the insightful information with respect to the information steward. So we'll get the information steward overview, accessing the information steward, who are the target persons, what are the main components, and its architecture. So in day-to-day life, or else like in business, we say, right? Obviously, without any challenges, there is no new product, right?
Yeah.
So
I am carefully listening to each other. If you
okay, cool. Yes.
then I'm just muting myself.
Okay. No, I just like when I ask, okay, just say yes. That's it.
Sure.
Okay,
No
cool. So if you see any other normal tools in day-to-day life, those tools are specific to the technical people, right? There are no other tools like for the business in particular, because they are the end users, or else they are at the starting because they will be giving us the requirements, or else they will be at the end. But in the middle part, when you try developing tool, let's take an example of BODs. So we never give the access to the functional people because they don't understand the difference, like what is LPAD or RPAD, or what is the conversion rules which we write. So it will be quite difficult for them to understand, but speaking for them is easy, but we are the people who drive it behind. But when we come to the information steward is the only tool where business and the technical people come into a single platform. That is the main advantage and the unique platform when you compare information steward with the other tools. So I mean to say, what are the business challenges when we compare to the other things? See, there is no environment for business users to collaborate with IT people regarding the data issues, because we don't come together on a single platform to discuss on the same issue, because their point of view will be different when they see the end data, and their point of view will be different when they see the source data. So when we like they don't have enough, what to say, access when we try to do the changes. But information steward is the main platform which helps us to enhance the business people and the technical people into a single platform where they can see the transformations of the data. Clear? Next point is
Yes,
like
yes, please. Yes, please.
no consistent, repeatable way to measure the score data, or else the scorecard for the data issue called. Because when we try to see the data with respect to any, I'm not talking about the reporting tools, because reporting tools end of the day give us a pictorial representation, but the tools, or else those are like separate part. But when we talk about data quality, defining is fine, but how to analyze that one? So at least see, theoretical is fine, but not every people are like much interested on the theory particle these days, because they want to visualize, then only that information will store into their picture. So that is one of the point, which is nothing but no consistent repeatable way to measure the scorecard of the data, I mean data quality issue. A lack of visibility to where the numbers or data is coming from, means like they can't understand how the data is being converted from where, which type of sources, because we deal with the different types of sources. We deal with Excel, we deal with a text file, we deal with .csv, we deal with column delimited values, we deal with non-SAP systems, we deal with SAP systems, right? Different types of Oracle, Microsoft. So they don't have this type of idea. And the next point is minimal reuse of data cells, and lot of data duplicates is happening, because that's what happened, right? When you try to normalize or denormalize, obviously when you try to bring different types of data into a single platform, obviously there is a chance of duplicates. So how these types, like these were like little bit of challenges. Not sure what is the business definition. Just an want a quick check, do you have any idea on the business definition?
Business definition, in the sense like you're talking about the business rules, or you're talking about the interaction that's going to happen between the information steward consultant and the business.
Yes, the second point I was asking.
Okay, yeah. So basically, once we get the requirements from the business, we try to get those requirements into place in order to get the things done what they are asking, right?
No, this is actually a different point. I will tell you. Business definition.
Okay.
We have separate term called in information steward called metapedia. That will be
Okay.
discussed. Yeah, no worries. I was just
Yeah.
cross checking. So
Yeah.
what you're saying is fine, but that is pure technical point of view.
Okay.
So here, see, that's what like when so if you're working in the BODS, you call it as a BODS developer, right?
Yeah. Agreed.
But when you are working in the information steward, you are not called as a steward developer or information steward developer. You call it as a data steward, because whatever we deal will be the data only. So that's why they call it as a data stewards, and the functional people will call it as a functional stewards.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Thank you. You're getting some new information today.
Functional steward, in sense little bit. I'm good. If you can please elaborate, Chandra. With the,
Yeah, that I will take in the next phases.
Okay,
So that yeah, the
Okay.
metapedia, the metadata management. We have other concepts called rules, that you might be know. We have another concept called approvals, the cleansing package builder. We have the another column called work list. I will tell you so that you will get
Sure.
more enhancement on this one. Not sure we have. We need to check the data dependency. So
Okay.
now these were the few challenges, like there is no environment for the business users. There is no consistent repeatable way to measure the scorecard, a lack of visibility, like where we will be lack of visibility means like what are the sources we are consuming, and the minimal uses of the data assets, and they don't know the business definition. A business definition I will tell you in the next class, next few minutes. And these are the challenges. So in order to overcome, we got this concept called information steward. So the difference between information steward and BODC is a proper tool. Okay,
Yeah.
it can be installed at the client level, and it can be installed at this server level also. So that type of means it can be distributed. But
Yeah.
when it comes to the information steward, we are using a URL. So we don't have any specific tool. If there is a desktop icon, if you double click auto, it automatically opens in the URL. So the basic thumb rule we need to understand is people will start what to say comparing. That's not a what to say based on my experience. So that's not a ideal way to compare BODs with information steward, because information steward is a future from the BODs, where it helps us to identify only mainly not only mainly with respect to the data quality things, because BODs can easily handle millions of data without any issues, right? By loading or doing all these things. But information steward has a little bit of limitations. Why? Because it's not a tool, it's a URL. Because in the web browser, right, we have their own limitations. That's we need to understand, because some people will ask, why can't information steward, if you're using, if I'm investing money, why can't it can be used for millions of trillions of data? But you need to understand the what to say the scalability, or else their skeleton, how it has been developed. It's not a proper tool .exe file where you can think where you can build, or where you can able to fix a lot of things into a single executable file. But this one is a URL which comes as part of the BODs. So it has own its limitations. So if you understand its limitations, then it will be good for us to analyze the data.
Agreed.
Clear?
Yeah. Yeah. That's totally clear. Yeah.
So like as we discussed about few business challenges, right? So now we comes to why information steward. The prominence of the data quality. It gives us the highest quality of the data at most each and every time, because based on the rules which we try to implement, or else what we try to do in the means the code which has been defined in the backend, right? It tries to gives you the best result.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
and it owns the IT management infrastructure and custodian of the data. Means like IT people, normally business people will own the data most of the cases. But in the case of information steward, IT people also own the data. Why? Because they have the accountability. Because once they take the data, they have this chance to see the data, to view the data, to elaborate the data, to explore the data. Why? Because why I'm stressing this point is, when you talk about a BODS developer, the business will talk with the manager. Manager will help you to understand the requirement to the lead, and lead will assign you. He will give you FSD. He will give. We have to prepare the TST. We have to work the, and we have to give the test case. And test case will seen by other one, and he will give the report to the functional people. Again, the functional people will come to the manager to lead. So that's a cycle. So you will get the idea on the BODS part, but not on the business point of view. That's where the we are not. I'm not saying everyone, but most of the cases, uh, business BODS developer won't have much exposure on the business. His part is like to define the rules, to proper the job, complete it. That's how it is happen. But when it comes to the information steward, right? Forget about BODs. I'm saying this tool will have you a direct contact with the business people. They will try to give you the business. They will try to give you the data, and they will try to own you the data, and they will try to give you what is happening in this information steward, we have like two main concepts called impact and lineage. So what will be the impact if you don't apply a rule properly, or else what will be an lineage is nothing but we need to backtrack how it is happening, like in what way this has been gone wrong. So that is another topic. But what happens is, apart from the technical point of view, we start understanding the business. That's how we'll feel more comfortable when we start understanding the data. Because by seeing the KNA1 table, so you have much exposure on the SAP systems, right?
Yeah.
So when you see a KNA1 table, when you see a LFA1 table, when you see a ADRC table, it's just a table with the data, right? But
Yeah.
when you see it different point of view, when you see it from the information steward point of view, you will try to see, okay, we have 237 columns in KNA1. We have like 40 columns in LFA1. We have 250 columns with respect to ADRC table. So what that data has, okay, it has lots of countries information, the customer information it has the address information. In address, we have so many columns. So what happens when you do a profiling? What happens when you do a rule? So you just to try to get a more information in the business point of view, and that information you can do with the help of a technical point of view.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah, agreed.
So once you start doing a profiling, once you start doing a rule information, in each and every step our life cycle in the information steward, the business people will come into the picture. So they do have the access, they will log in into the system, they can also see the system, they can also see the rule. So we can show them, this is the rule we applied and this is the final result we are getting. Okay, so can you export this into a Excel file and share us with us? Yes, we can do. Each and every part we can get that information into an Excel and we can share that same information with that particular user.
Great. Okay.
So that is like and as I said, you're right, in most involvement of the business users in most scenarios, like in Metapedia we have their involvement. In metadata management we have this impact and lineage concept. There also we have their what to say, involvement, and we have the data insight concept. In data insight, maximum 90% of the work we'll be doing in that one. So we have the profiling, we have the rules, we have the scorecard setup, we have the task, we have the scorecard. So all these steps, each and every step, once you do profiling, business people will validate. Once you do a rule, the business people will come into the picture. Once you create a scorecard, they will see the scorecards and they will finalize, and based on these trends they will come into the picture. Again, once you refresh the scorecards, based on the scores, again the business people will come into the picture. Now you are understanding, right, the impact of business people and the technical people into a single place. So each and every step we we combine together and we starts working.
Agreed. Yeah.
And as I said, you're right. Let me okay. So these are the like data quality. So these are
Chandra,
the
one quick question. Sorry to interrupt you.
Sure.
You will get the cleansed data, then only you will perform these activities, or before cleansing you can do these activities?
We can do it. See, it's purely based on the business requirement. So if they have some raw data, they want to understand it, they will ask us for the basic profiling. We will give the data. We will give the data. So based on that, see, normally in migration projects, how this information steward is, before migrating, they want to see how good the data is. In simple words.
Yeah, but what I'm telling is, if they have any non-SAP system, let's say, and the non-SAP systems holds some data like Microsoft Dynamics, something, just an example. And if they want to do the data profiling, they can't do, because the information straight basically it's going to talk to SAP tables, right? Or is it
No. That's a myth.
Okay.
That's not true.
Okay.
If BODs can able to connect to any other systems, then obviously information steward also able to connect to any other systems. That's a myth.
You mean to say we can connect the IS to any non-SAP system, and then we can
True.
retrieve the data and we can do all these activities. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's really good. Okay.
That's why I said, that's a myth. It's not true.
Okay. I was under impression that once you have the BODS, because that's the BODS that's going to filter you the data, cleanse the data, do everything, then it will give you the data. That data only you can use in information thread. Otherwise, you just
no.
can't use IIS. That's what I was under impression.
No, it's not the case.
Okay. Thank you for that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, please continue, Chandra.
Okay. The first line you see, right? One second. The first line will give you the total concept of the information steward. It empowers data stewards. Okay. The data stewards, the word which I said, right? The people who,
Yeah. Agreed.
with a single environment to discover, okay, assess, define, monitor, and improve the quality of their enterprise data set. So first it's saying discovering. So discover and enterprise data. So what are the things it comes is data profiling, metadata management. So in the data profiling, as I said, right, we try to see how good the data in a different point of views, like might be in their structure, might be in their quality, in the sense like the data types, what are the minimum, what are the maximum. We just try to understand the data in a granular way. Granular way, right? It's like till the maximum end of the point.
Yeah.
And then we have a define. So define is nothing but define business terms, validation rules, cleansing rules, and models. So we'll be defining the business terms, which I said you right, Metapedia, and
Okay.
and the validation rules. Validation rules will come in the rules part, and then the cleansing rules is there, which we try to remove unnecessary data. Cleansing means cleansing the data, means like cleaning the data, means like obviously if you are dealing with the US country, if you have other countries, obviously we just keep a filter static. We need only US data, and that one. And in that, if you need some more additional filters, we are just trying to cleansing the data, removing the unnecessary data.
I'm just curious to see how cleansing is basically working in information thread, Chandra, because
Sure.
my curiosity is I just want to understand till what level the cleansing is information thread is performing. But definitely you just continue, then we'll dig out into detail, then we can go ahead. But now today, whatever the way you want to drive, please drive it. Yeah.
Sure. So my thing is only is like how good we are with this basics or the structure, how it happens, because I'm like into this field like a couple of years, but I've never seen like people explaining in detail. So that's why I tried like exploring myself. So all these inputs I have just to put together to make other people feel comfortable when they start learning information steward
No,
with a
Chandra,
blank page.
I'm able to understand you very good, and I think that's the way which I was looking for. Thanks for that.
Sure, no issues. And next is define the data ownership. I said you right, ownership. We
Yeah.
take the accountability, in other words. So how this happens is define data ownership, assign data ownership, accountability, and roles. So what happens is in this one, we have this DOO. You have any idea on a data object owner?
Data object owner, yeah.
Customer master or material master, we have so many objects, right, in the migration life cycle.
Yeah.
So what happens is, let's take an example, simple address. So we have a data owner.
Yeah.
So he takes about address. So in address, you see that we have different fields like region, area, postal code, zip code, city, country. So all these are different objects. In case if they are dealing some millions of trillions of data, if the business case is high, they will assign different people like multiple objects to a single person, or else altogether address will be dealing by single person in case if he's able to handle. So he takes that accountability, and then we will try drive the business from his point of view to other point of view. And what happens in the data set, we takes the owner, because we need to understand the data right before applying the rules. So that's why we'll see with business, we'll try to understand the business, and then we try to build the rules, and build the rules. After that, we'll just take the ownership and the accountabilities and the roles. So roles is nothing but here we have in a general scenario, we take the admin privileges, or else we take the technical user privileges, but we don't give the technical privileges to the business people, because in case if they do something wrong with the rules, right, obviously the rule will be totally gone. So because we do a lot of multiple times execution with those rules, right? So that's why we will give the access, but in a read-only format, so that they can't edit anything.
Okay.
That
Okay.
that thing with the roles.
Yeah, great. Okay.
So the data owner, right, who takes care about the ownership, he has a little bit more admin privileges. Why? Because I will tell you in the next class, next slides, we have this concepts called approval. So whatever we do, right, in the case of creating the rules, or else creating the scorecards, or else creating the metapedia terms, or else the business definition, which I said, right? So everything needs a approval here. So you can't just simply address, this is an address format, and you can't save it. So whenever you do something, right, it requires an approval in the information steward. So for that approval, we need an owner, right? For different objects, how many people are there? Because let's take an example of a delivery manager. He takes ownership of each and every migration object in the business, right? So
Yeah.
normally in this case, we will keep him as a data owner object. So whatever we do, he will properly, thoroughly review. In case if it is fine, then only he will approve, or else he will reject, stating a reason. This is not in a proper way. We gonna just remove it.
Okay.
So they will make sure all the punctuations, the semicolon, the spelling mistakes, because that will be going into a higher level. Because in other case, if they want to show it to the next level, so they want to be this data in a proper way.
Okay.
So that will be coming under the accountability and roles and data ownership.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah. Very much.
So next one is the monitor and remediate. So in the monitor is nothing but once we start doing the scorecards, right, we'll try to see the data qualities, how good the data is, and what are the things which is happen. And the next one is scorecards. Scorecard means surface data quality score in business user application. So whenever there is a score out of 100, obviously we will be declaring their what is the minimum, what is the maximum value, what is the medium. So in this case, what happens is 40 to 60 is very bad data. 60 to 80, it's okay data. So 80 to 100, it's a good data. That normally the standards which are there in available. In case if you want to change, you can change. Like 50 to 70 very bad, 70 to 90 is okay, 90 to 100, based on the requirement from the business. How accurate they are, like how specific they want, how serious they are about the data. Based on that, we will be setting this one. So as I said, right, workflows to resolve the data quality issues. How it will be, we can design these things. Clear? Can I move to the next slide?
Yeah. Agreed.
Okay. This one is just an architecture, how it happens. So this BODs, right? Whatever is there, first we need to install the business intelligence platform. And then on top of that one, we'll be doing the business objects data services. On top of that, we will be installing the business objects information steward. In case there are
Chandra, sorry to interrupt you here. If you just go for 1 second backslide, 1 second, just a quick question. So this the one which you have given here, discover, defined, and then monitor and remedies. These are the activities that an IS consultant will be performing, or it is something the system is giving you these facilities.
no, system is giving and IS consultant will be doing.
Okay, so I can say that the information suite, basically the consultant will be defining the business term, validations, doing the validations, rules, cleansing rules. He's going to define the models, and he's going to see the data ownership guys, assign the data ownership accountability. In that way, we can tell, or
Yes, 100%.
okay,
But
okay.
only thing is like this data ownership, right? This will be taken care of about like the admin guys. But don't worry, I will give you an
Yes.
idea. We will do these type of activities also, so that you will get
Perfect.
a end-to-end picture.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Next slide. Okay.
So while installing the information steward, right, we have two steps. One is like going with information platform, IPS, and then the data services, and then the information steward. In case if you don't want the information steward on the platform services, we can go directly to with the information steward also. Like when you compare both of them, right? The business, I just want to give you an overview. Business data, business of BODS and the IS. So you see, right, we have this concept called DS local repository. And here also we have this concept called IS repository, because this total repository will be, right, the master database where all the information will be stored. Same way while installing the IS, we need a IS repository, which is nothing but a database. So that's why they mention it as a database tier. And when you come to the services, okay, we have APS services and we have the job services. So these are nothing but once you start learning about in detail about the information steward, right? We have the metadata, administrative data review. This is nothing but cleansing package builder, CPB. So this also we will be covering. You don't worry. These are nothing but these backend services. Like whenever you start working on this one, right? These services will be start working to make sure all the things to be moved in a proper way.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. So, and coming to the job server, right? Here it has integrated scheduling services. In BODs, right, we can schedule the jobs from the DSMC, right? But
Yes.
in this case, we need to go to CMC. Because it's a URL, right? We don't have that much privileges to schedule, but we can schedule a task from the CMC console. How it is, like we will see in the next classes. Next one, we have the data reviewing scheduling system. It's like you see, right, how like the scheduling services will fall under job server.
Yesterday, I was discussing this with Kumar also. What Kumar was telling is like basically, I was under impression that first you will require information steward, then the integration will go to BODS. From there, because once you define all the rules, everything in information steward, that will we can utilize the same rules in bots and then get the things done. But what he was saying is it's not that, it is the other way around. First you take the BODS, then you will use that information steward to do the quality work that he was saying. I don't know what is it something which I am misunderstanding, or is it Kumar to you?
No. See, it's simple. See, the cleansing package builder, which is there, right? It can be done in 2 ways actually. See, if you are not interested in information steward, all the stuffs can be done in the BODS, but it's a long taking time. Let's take a profiling. So to do that profiling, we need to write a lot of script. Trust me, even though the results are not the same, but in information steward, it's just a click. All the things will happen in the backend. So
I'm just trying to understand each other in an integration way. Like for example, BODS will get integrated with IS, or IS
yes. Both are integrated to each other in both ways, up and down. Send and receive.
Okay.
Just add one point. Sorry to interrupt you.
Chandra. Yes, yeah.
And so I know from where you are coming. The point yesterday from where we discussed, right? That's where you can. That's where
exactly.
Right?
Kumar,
so the thing is, as so as the it is in two-way comparison. Okay, arrow marks. If you draw, it is arrow mark is there in both the sides. Okay, from up and down it can go, bottom and down it is going. But as per the industry standards, I mean to say, from at least, or maybe at least from my experiences and from Chandra experiences, what we're telling is usually when we wanted to do some kind of rules in steward, if we get a chance to utilize BODS, I mean there are budget constraints for every project. If we get BODS, that is an added advantage because we can do cleansing, kind of, for example, cleansing in the sense, for example, we have address data. Some will be in capital and some will be small. Okay, I want to convert everything into capital. Before going in information steward to check, my rule is to check in address wherever it is having an avenue, okay, or wherever it is having limited, those records I need to find out. Okay, just hard-coded value something. Okay, this is a rule. And I want to do some kind of cleansing on the data because I cannot use direct raw data every time, right? We have to do some part of cleansing. So in BODS, it has than IS to cleanse this kind of data to convert everything to capitals. Second thing is to remove the spaces, L trim and R trim, trimming of spaces and before and after. Okay, and if you want to do some kind of substrings, all these functionalities at a one go, it is very easy to write in BODS. we do some little kind of processing in BODS and load into staging table, load into database, and IS will connect to the respective database from where it has been pre-processed data, that it will try to convert a rule. Now, in other way, if you think BODS is not there, now you wanted to do the substring, you want to do the trimming of spaces, that also can be done in IS. I'm not in that kind of, but it is easier to do in BODS, the readily functionality. Here also it is there, but we need to know more on view creation concept. In this also, we have view creation concept. It was bit pre-processing time it takes, cache memory it takes, allocation it takes, memory allocation, etc. So when compared to ETL tool, IS data quality tool, it is having some limitations when we do this kind of process. But in other side, if you don't have BODS, you can directly do everything in IS also. Because yesterday I've just told you in terms of very high level. Now we are going in deeper and deeper and deeper. Then you will understand why we need bots and why we need IS. And if we don't have bots, if I have only IS, what to do?
No, Kumar,
Right?
really
But
thanks a
added
lot for this information here, because that's really
yeah.
giving me good insight, and especially what information I got from you yesterday. So I was just thinking like how it will work both the way around. So that's what I asked the same question to Chandra.
Both the ways. It
Yeah,
will work.
okay.
It will work in both the ways. For example, I'll tell you one project. I have bots in IS. Even the present project which we are working, we have a maximum of projects. You have both. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can do some kind of cleansing there, and pre-processing data you can do there. Simple thing. But when you say IS is very good in terms of writing the rules. Like I said, if I want to do email patterns, I want to check lookups, I want to do something, etc. It will throw file data bucket and file data bucket very easily. That kind of functionality, when you see, it is just a quality system. You have to do in IS only. You cannot do in BODS. You got it right. There you have to write a case transform. Case transform.
You're 100% right, Kumar. What I was under impression is which is dependent to which. IS is dependent on the BODS, or BODS is dependent on IS. I was thinking that way, but what you're telling is nobody is dependent on each other. They are independent.
Yeah, correct. They're independent, but technically, I mean, in administrative perspective, if you ask me, job server is dependent on each other. That is also one way. In the other way is, even you get information steward as a alone tool with job server as separate license again. Okay. That is also there. Okay. But if someone is having BODS, that particular job server can be reused for IS, and IS is a free complementary tool for bots.
Okay.
It's a free complementary tool. So if someone is having BODS, they will readily have IS.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. If someone doesn't have BODS and only want IS, also you can get for a license cost of job server extra, and bots no dependent. The only dependent which has is administrative purpose. It is only job server dependency, which is nothing but a engine to run the jobs. To run a BODS we say jobs, in IS we say task. Okay, that is the only thing. And if you say about technically you can achieve anything either there or here. For example, if you ask for validation rules, we are writing the whole concept of IS is writing the rules. You can write rules in case transform in BODS. Right? In case you write this rule, and if it is having city is equal to Delhi, go and sit in the bucket. City is equal to Bengaluru, and Hyderabad, go and sit in this bucket. And you can write some custom functions also. And even you have validation transform in BODS, you can write some custom functions what IS is also writing. Okay, and even that will throw in a bucket. But validation transform what's happening in BODS is limited. But in IS, it's completely for this. You can one rule. I mean, when you create a one rule, you can bind it to n number of tables. For example, you have address table, customer table, and another SAP non-SAP source system tables. You write a one rule saying the logic email address having this kind of pattern is a true, else false. That rule you can use for 10 number of source system tables. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got it. And if you see BODS, you have to take a copy of jobs. Copy of jobs, and then take again, change the sources and load into different tables. But here you just take one reusability of a rule comes in the future. I mean, next parts. I'm just telling all this because there is a bit confusion with bots and IS functionality. So either ways, both are using. But when you think about data quality, okay, this is something coming to data quality. Go ahead with IS. If it is something with pre-processing of something data, which IS cannot do and bots can easily do, and in my architecture, I have bots also to use, then use both. That is my best option.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Kumar. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, in a nutshell, if I want to tell you one statement, if you have bots and IS, it's a very added advantage. Do some kind of pre-processing data, cleansing of spaces, converting to capital letters, doing some kind of substrings, etc. Do in bots, take the pre-processed data and IS. That is the overall nutshell I can say. If you don't have bots, everything you have to do in IS. That's it.
Yeah. So that, I think that's a good point which you have mentioned.
Yeah,
If you have both the
clarity in coming.
Yeah, that's a good point which you just now mentioned. Like if you have both the systems like VODS as well as IS, then do many things, do most of the things in VODS and then get it to IS. That's what you're saying.
Yes. Why? Because in simple terms, you what Kumar is saying is like to make your job easy. When you are like obviously BSDS people mostly will come into the IS. So once we start feeling comfortable with one tool, we don't have a mindset to change easily. So that's why most of the what are the POD's advantages, you just make them and just bring them, because what happens is whenever you try to do in view, it will because we don't deal in thousands of records, right? We deal in a little bit more of data, so it will be difficult for us to just access the view and execute the view. It will take a little bit more time than we expect. So that is the reason.
This is the question which I was just about to ask, because if you have high volume of data, can we use IS? Because BODS is very famous to handle high volume of data.
Yes, so here that's why what we try to do is
for BODS now. High volume, if it is there, best option is always bots to do this processing. That's the reason I am by considering these facts, bots, if you do some processing now, it will be easier for IS to handle, because IS more data it cannot handle huge data. For example, you take 1 million, 2 million, 3 millions, at least it can handle. More than that, if you pull out transaction data to do some processing, it will hunger. If you wanted, if you do some logic of doing some substring, and if you try to see the data how it is, you will not be able to do. But in bots, you can able to see the data in staging table, and also you can able to sort it out, and then you can see the data at least, because that mechanism is different, ETL mechanism. But here now it has to run on cache every time. So that functionality is those limitations are still there with IS. And one more, if you ask me, if you see base match transform golden record, the doing of golden record very much impossible in IS. You have to use base match transform in BODS and take pre-processing data and just to throwing into different buckets can be used in IS. That limitations to avoid, it will be advantage if you have bots. But
so
in other side also,
golden record is we can't produce in IS, Kumar. You mean to say we can't produce those kind of things in here?
IS very difficult to write this logic.
Okay.
Very difficult unless we have very sound knowledge in writing coding.
Okay. I got it now. Okay.
Yeah, it will take ages if you want to write it.
No. Totally agree. Thanks for that, Kumar. Yeah.
It will be very difficult to do that. Or one more option if you have is, if you don't have BODS, you have to at least tell whoever is giving you source data to do some processing in database level or whatever you are from source level itself. You have to pre-process the data, and you have to tell before itself, IS can able to do only this. Please give me this level of data.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
So because we have, if we know understanding of limitations of IS, then based on that we have to understand. This is a good point, I can say. If we know limitations of IS, then we can think of other alternatives like BODS and or other source systems.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sorry, Chandra. I took you.
No. Thanks, Kumar, for
sorry, Chandra. I took your time.
No issues.
Yeah,
like he got much more idea, I think.
Yeah, Chandra. Thanks, both of you. Thanks. Yeah, thanks a lot for.
No problem. No problem. So these are the services which we cover with respect to each module in the information steward. So here, if you see, we have this web servers, right? So in the BODs, we have the DSMC for monitoring the jobs, and the data services admin console, which is nothing but the CMC. So these both come under CMC only. So even the data services admin activities, information steward admin activities also comes under the CMC only. Like once we start looking into it, right, you'll get a more understanding on this one. And we have this web application, right? As I said, we don't have any client applications. You see right here, we don't have any client applications in the IS. So we have the designer, we have the workbench, and we have the message client library, which are with respect to the BODs. These are nothing but the applications, but we don't have any applications or in the client side. We do have only application, which is nothing but the web application. There only we can do all our activities.
Okay. So information steward basically stores any data, Chandra, or it will only process the data.
One second. Kumar, can you please be on mute? I'm getting a little bit background sound.
Oh, అది 50 అయింది. 10 50 కాలేదు. సౌండ్ తగ్గించండి.
Kumar is talking to somebody, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's okay.
Yeah, he's okay, fine.
So Chandra, basically what you're mentioning is like you got the server client basically on the BODs, but if you see that is a totally web application IS. That's the difference which you're mentioning, right?
Yes.
Exactly. Okay. And this CMC is also web application.
Yes. It's a URL.
It's a URL. And that CMC, once you because CMC will be used for both for the BODs as well as IS.
Yes.
Okay. And SAP BI, Business Intelligence Platform, that is your okay. It is just naming convention where you got information steward API services. Okay. Backend services. Okay. So the question which I asked you is like IS stores any data?
Yes.
Chandra?
Yeah. Give me a second, please.
Okay.
Sorry, it's a daytime, right? Getting a lot of calls. Sorry. Yeah.
No, that's fine, please.
Yes, I do. Because this IS repository, right? It has a lot of databases with respect to the information steward. So we have normally two types of databases. One is for the profiling database. One is for the failed database, which I will be discussing in the next slide. So if I move to
it holds the data. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. So now you see, right? It's normally we call it as a high level architecture. Okay. So multiple methods to access the data. So data access, like different types of sources, ad hoc sources might be files or whatever it is that. Whenever it comes to the information steward, we access the data, we run the profiling, we build the rules, we run the score, we build the score. This is the main agenda of the information steward. So whenever you are doing this rules concept, right?
Yeah.
So we try to apply some rules. Means like what Kumar was saying, right? The profilings or whatever it is there, not profiling. I mean to say the implement of the rules. So whenever we do these cases where you try to do some case conditions, right? If this happens like that. So same way, whenever we do such type of rules, so sometime let's take KNA1 table. Okay.
Okay.
We will write a rule in a simple way. KNA1, the Kunnar, the customer number. Okay. the kunnar should not have any null values. That's an ideal rule.
Yeah.
So can we expect a null values in the kunnar? No.
No.
So we'll just write a rule where kunnar is null. So what happens is it will capture all the failed table, because we don't require good data, right? The main agenda for this information steward is nothing but we need to capture the failed data, or else the rules which are not matching. Means we only deal with, see, the ideal name is data quality, but the thing is like, what to achieve data quality, we need to deal with bad data. That's what we try to do in the concept of rules. So whenever we try to implement more and more rules on a different types of tables, end result, what we try to do is we deal with the bad data. So bad data in the sense of failed data, because let's take example, you have done the rule called kunnar is null. You have 20 records. So do you think those 20 records are valid records?
No.
No. So where this data will be stored? That will be your next question.
Yes.
So we have a database. We will be creating a database called failed data to make ourselves simple, to make ourselves understandable.
Yeah.
We will create a database called failed data. So we will assign it while executing the rule, so that whenever the task gets run for this particular rule, it automatically stores the data, and that data we will be dealing. So while migrating the data, a small example, they want to see how good the data is in a simple words. So they want to see how many countries having a proper information. How many countries, see, we have ISO 2 standard, we have a ISO 3 standards, because some countries will be following 3 standards. You have any idea on the ISO standards?
No.
That's fine. That's fine. No issues. So for USA, right? If it is a USA, it's called as ISO 3 standards. If it is a US, it is IN. Sorry, US. If it is a India, IND, 3 characters. If it is India, IN. So if you see Indonesia and India, if you give IN, that will give any impact. Obviously, you don't feel the difference between them. So that's why these people came into the picture with respect to the address, right? At least they will consider 3 countries. So Indonesia will be INA, India will be IND, US will be USA, Mexico will be MEX. So see, if it is ME, no other countries are there, then it's fine. But the thing is like when same countries having similarity between their names, so instead of ISO 2, they are going with ISO 3, because it will be a bit difficult for the other people to understand.
Okay.
You're getting my point?
Yeah. So
Cool.
ISO 3, that means that it is naming characters of for any country will be 3 characters.
Yeah. We do maintain ISO 2, we do maintain ISO 3, we do maintain other things also. But to understand the business in a proper way, we give the ISO 3 standards.
Agreed.
So if you just Google it, you'll get I'm not the proper guy to say you. They will give you a lot of information and a lot of examples that you can get more insight on that one.
Sure.
So I do have just a basic information, because we were doing this type of scenario, right? So I came to know about this one.
No, that's perfect. I got it.
Sorry. So this is about this one. So this is the generic page. This is data inside, metadata management, Metapedia, cleansing package builder, and the work list. So this will be discussed in depth. You don't worry anything. So what are the target users, right? This is where we will be dealing the data leads, data managers, analyst, and the management. So this data will be captured or else inherited, or whatever you say, will by the data leads, the people who are next to us, like in the next level. They will be reporting the managers and the analyst and the management. There the business will be driven. All the technical information will be driven into the business point of view.
Yeah, agreed. Okay.
Any doubts in this slide? Can I move to the next one?
Yes, please go ahead. Yeah.
So in information steward, these are the 5 steps, really quick process. Once everything is defined, means the greatest amount of time and effort is spent on defining the business validation rules and accessing the data. Why? Because first we profile the data, what happens when you profile the data? To run data profiling, analyzing the results, understand the data. Means like what are the minimum values, what are the maximum values, what are the string lengths which are available. It will give you an overview picture. Means like that's kind of a skeleton. Okay. Means like what are the things which are once you see the profiling, right? You will like, as I said, you right, theoretically will never suffice our what you say need. Only the pictorial represent will help us the need, because first we if you understand theory 50%, then the pictorial will give you more understanding, right? Listening
Agreed.
is better, like
Yeah,
see
yeah.
yeah, you understood, right?
Yes. Agreed.
So first we profile the data. Once it is fine, then we will be doing the business validation rules, like what are the things which they give us, and then we create and change the rules. Obviously, once we start doing the rules, right, the user will never suffice. Means they never satisfy unless they see the data, right? They keep on changing. We keep on running the rules. So once it is done, we see the rule. What to say? Mm, change in the scorecards, which we call in information steward call as a trend. So there is a proverb saying the rule without a trend is a trash, or else they will call it as shit. Means like which is of no use.
Acha, okay.
Because if they don't understand the trend of the data, which is of no use, right? Because any see whatever you see, like a proper analyst, if you see, let's take example of a cricket. If they don't see their history, they can't predict the future, right?
Yes, you're right.
So based on the population, they will come to see. No one can go to the future. So if a country is having 40 million people in 2020, so in 2030, they will come with the estimation saying, okay, it might be reached to 40 or 30 or 40, something.
Yeah.
So that seeing the previous information in information steward, that too with the help of a scorecard, we call it as a trend. It's
Okay.
really mandatory to understand the trend, because how data is going based on the different conditions which we are giving in each and every step.
Okay. So what exactly you're referring trend as? Like the just a terminology which you're using, or it is something a
It's
functionality?
no, it's a terminology.
Okay.
Huh.
Okay.
So it's a kind of a graph, I said you right.
Yeah.
Here you can see July, August, September, October, November. We have seen how many times they have run. So if you see this trend, this partners, and here we have channels, right? In the channels, you see the quality is it's okay. Like end of that day, okay. After from July to November, the average means like obviously it will see the latest one is 7.1. But if you see for the partners, the quality score, which I said you right, if it is 5 to 7, it's okay, and 7 to 9 is okay, and 9 to 10 is only good.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you see here in July, it started really slow, very low. It's like not less than half. Now
Okay.
it's keep on improving. Now it came to 9.1.
Okay.
So this is the quality score, and this is called, you see right, trend.
So basically, Chandra, what we do is once we get the data from the business, we do all these steps and we do we understand the trend and show it to the business. Again, they'll go back and they'll cleanse the data in the source system itself, and again they'll come back. Or what is that? We are just showing the
Yes. So obviously, if they don't come back, we don't see any trends.
yes.
They will come back and they will ask us to rerun. Again, they will go with business. They will see with the customers. Business will talk with the customers, and they will try to see what is happening, what it is. Okay, can we see? Then the business, the customers say, no, this is not I'm expecting. Try to do some changes. They will do
Yeah.
some changes. It's kind of repetitive process unless the desired output comes, or else if the data is really not that much good, they will drop, or else they will say it's fine. We'll go with this type of quality of the data.
Agreed. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Next one is the different tabs which are available for us. The data quality scorecard, the profiling, the validations, the metapedia, and the metadata. So what is a data quality scorecard? Let's, in a small example, we say a balanced scorecard towards data quality, performance measure, and track data quality performance against metrics and anticipate and spot a data quality weakness, as I showed you in the scorecard, right? So here it is talking about that scorecard. So this is too much of information. We just try to see how good the data based on the measures. So profiling. So profiling, as I said, you right, it's analyze if data matches business definitions and expectations, validate data completeness, spareness, redundancy, pattern distribution, analyze cross-system data dependencies uses business use. Means we try to see the completeness of the data, we try to see the redundancy of the data, we try to see the pattern distribution. So we in profiling, we have different types of profiling. We do have a column profiling, we do have address profiling, we do redundancy profiling, we do uniqueness profiling, we do dependency profiling, and last one is content profiling. So we have different types of profiling, but 95%, trust me, we will be doing only column profiling.
Okay. Okay.
Because some people, they are not that much, what to say, interest in other profiling. So we, in case of address, right, we will be doing a address profiling, and in case of duplicates, we'll go with the redundancy. In case of uniqueness, we'll be going with the uniqueness profiling, and if they want to see the content type of patterns distribution, we'll be going with the content profiling.
Yeah, agreed.
But you need to understand, most like the column profiling which we try to do is on a table level, but rest of them we'll be doing on a column level.
Okay. Okay.
There we'll be selecting the columns. So that's it, nothing but a column profiling.
Column profiling. Okay.
Yeah. So validation rules, as we discussed, right? Work with IT to define data validation rules, apply validation rules against sources to continuous monitor data quality, reuse validation rules in data migration and integration, right? If the rule is fine, we can use the same rule for different point of view, right?
Yeah,
Different
yeah,
projects
yeah.
we can use, maybe we can. So, but in the rules also, we do have this concept called approvals. The rule has to get approval unless and until, see, if we have this concept called public. So if one project rule might not be visible in other project, so that's why they build these rules, make it, if it is approved, and if you make it public, it can be seen in other projects also.
Yeah.
Because of the limitability. Next one is metapedia. I said you right, the business definition. So work with business users to define and agree on business terms, link business terms to data elements, and to assist business users understand data definitions. I said you right, the business definitions. Here we call it as a data definition. So in general words, metapedia is nothing but a, in according to information steward, it is nothing but a business glossary. Glossary is nothing but defining the terms in business point of view so that they can understand.
Okay.
So why metapedia is important in information steward is, in simple words, they can't come to the column profiling, they can't come to the rules, they can't come to the scorecards directly, because if they are not good about the navigation, it will be really impacting them, because it's a time taking process for them to understand, because not everyone will be good with the user interface, right?
Yeah.
So this metapedia will be a SPOC for them, single point of contact. So let's take an example of address only. I will go with address only because it has a lot of insights where we can deal different types of sets. So in the address, if you see, we do have a different subtopics in address. We have area, we have region, we have country, we have zip code, right? All this information will come under the address, right? So what happens is, we create a term, means like it's just a simple word, it's nothing related to technical, it's totally functional only. So we'll create a word, we'll define a term, means like we'll create a term called address. And what are the terms? This address is a category here, and terms are nothing but different terms. The are what we say, the address number, or else the whatever the things which comes under the area, region, country, all this comes under the address, right? We all together combine under address, and then whatever the profiling we have done, whatever the rules we have declared, what are the scorecards which are there, And one more thing, in metadata management, we create the connections. So same like the data stores which we create in the BODS. It's the same concept where we can see list of connections which are available, whether it is a flat file, whether it is a file connections, or whether it's a non-SAP, whether it is a SAP. We can, all the connections which are available can be seen here.
Agreed. Okay.
So those connections, obviously, if you are using profiling or else rules, we will be using some tables, right?
Yeah.
Same way here in Metapedia, those tables which are available in the metadata and the scorecards and the rules and the rule definition, the tables, the terms can be linked or else can be associated in this Metapedia term, so that whenever a user comes, he just click on his terms or else click on his category called address. He can see all the list of terms which are associated with this address and the list of tables, list of scorecards, list of things, everything he can see it here. So that's how it is very important for them to understand the business concept for the Metapedia.
So terms you're referring as rules, or it is just the agreement between?
No, term in simple ways, we can say the object.
Okay. Okay.
If you see a customer master, we have the bank information, right? We have the vendor information. So same way, those we'll be creating, and what are the tables which were associated with them, and what are the things which are got included them all together, we will be combining together in the associate objects. I will show you in the next classes, so that it will come together on a single way, and it will give you a lot of insight for them. So you don't need to go to different tabs. This will be a single point of contact for them.
Yeah, agreed.
Next slide. So as I said, you read data insight, where we'll be doing the profiling. All this information will be done. 90% we'll be working on the data insight only. The next tab is metadata management, where we maintain all the data connections information all together. We'll be managing. So that's why they call it as a metadata management. So Metapedia will be the next one actually, where we will be creating all the business terms, and then we have the cleansing package builder. So that is totally different. I don't want to confuse you. So once this topic comes, right, I will explain you in detail. So in simple words, there is a possibility, but as we are using the test server, I just want to make sure I will give you the concepts. If it is really working, we will try. Else, I will explain you what it happens in the backend. So when the cleansing package builder, the main advantage is like you have some set of rules. Okay, so let's take an example in BODS. So BODS cannot do custom operations. Again, we have to do some changes to the with the help of scripts, or we have to do some other operation, the functions, right? So those functions, if it is like supporting, or else if you do some activity and the results are coming properly, then this cleansing package builder will act as a transform in the BODS. You can save these rules together, and you can come, it will be acting as a transform in the data quality in the BODS. So we have this option to move this piece of code into the BODS. So if it is like working, then I will show, like else like it will be normal only.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that's true.
So these are nothing but the key drivers. Like as I said, you right, the customers, like different types of scorecards here they are showing. They're showing the red one, they're showing the orange one, they're showing the green one. So improve information trustworthiness, continuously improve data quality. Why? Because we keep on changing the rules which they define, right? So that's how it will be defining, and then provide visibility into quality of the data. Reduce risk of propagating bad data. That's why, right, when we start doing identifying the bad data, we try to remove them, right? Remediate data issues. Easily understand data and its relationship. Create a data mapping rules for data integration. Define data cleaning and validation rules. Everything will be done by the business people. Data quality initiations, like quantify impact of poor data on business. It's nothing but a few points which they want to say.
Great. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Clear with this one?
Yeah. It's quite clear. Yeah.
So this is about like today's session. I don't want to give you more information.
No, Chandra, I think that's really helping to understand the complete overview. So the only thing is like I'll just try, Chandra, are we looking for the new updates which is coming to IS every time with the SAP? Like, is this something which you are aware and you are going to show me those things?
In the test server, whatever we have is the latest one actually.
Yeah, okay.
So
yeah, and the instance like new functionalities which has been implemented in ISB before it was not there, or this is the one which has been implemented. Something which you like to show me also.
Sure, like I will just try to get that information from the last patch. What are the differences?
Sure.
Yeah, if something is just sure, I will get able to help you.
So tomorrow we will start with the practicals, Chandra, or like we'll work on the system, or still you have to show some more slides.
Based on your inputs, right? Yeah, I will try to see the architecture as I said, right? So we have some installation videos how it happens. If you want to see at the later part, we can go, or else like tomorrow we have a session for that one.
Yeah, as you wish, Chandra, because this session is totally it's very good for me. If you because what Kumar told me that we will see. I don't know whether you're asking me to join the other batch which is running, or will be a separate session for me.
No, it will be a separate session for you.
So Chandra, only thing is what I will try to review whatever things we have learned today. And then tomorrow, just before 5 minutes, I'll just try to clear my doubts, the question. Then
Every session, you don't worry, we will try to discuss at least 5 to 10 minutes so that you'll get
that's really cool. Yeah. I think that this is quite understandable. It's whatever you showed, I have understood, and I think it's really good to, especially you and Kumar, I think giving more information. That's perfectly all right.
No problem.
So are we going to end now, or we have some more things?
I don't want to like stuff so much of information because
Okay.
If you're
tomorrow,
good with this,
tomorrow is Saturday. What time do you prefer, Chandra? Like what time will go?
That I've given the information with Kumar. Like he will come up with that timing. So based on that, we can sit.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Chandra. Yeah, that's perfectly all right.
Okay then.
Okay. Thanks, Chandra. Thanks a lot for this.
No problem. Yeah. Thank you.